Hi friends, welcome back to Math and Focus Singapore Math Student Edition Course 2A. Here we are with 1.3 adding integers. As this paper shows, you can see there are 5 subsections in this chapter. Well, let this number not scare you, okay? Though it looks like a lot, but believe me, it's very less. It's very simple too, okay? So, let's get started with the first part, which is adding integers with the same sign. As you can read here, the rule is stated here, right? So what do you do first? You add the numbers and then you put the respective sign. Okay, so let's understand this. Say for example, you have numbers like 7 plus 8. Remember, we're talking about same signs, okay? So 7 and 8 both have positive sign. You know 7 plus 8 is 15, right? And what is the sign here? So we added the numbers. That's the first step. And what do? You put the respective sign. So what's the sign here? It's plus. So it's plus 15 or simply 15, right? Because usually when it's positive, we don't put the sign. Okay? Let's try another number. Say the same numbers but with negative signs now. -7 and -8. So let's go to the rules. Add numbers. 7 plus 8, 15. And then you put the sign. So what is the sign this time? It's negative. So you put -15. Okay? So this is quite simple. Add the numbers and then put the respective sign. If it's plus, you put plus. If it's minus, you put minus. Okay? So that was the first part. Let's go to the second part. It says adding integers to their opposites. Okay, and it's also simple. So if it's 7 plus and opposites, right? So -7, which is 0, right? 7 and 7 plus 7 and -7. If it is -8 plus 8, again 0, right? Plus and minus. So opposites. So basically it results into 0 only, right? Now let's understand these things on a number scale. Okay, so now because here my number scale I'm using this place is not enough, so let's take an example of instead of 7 and 8, let's say it was 1 plus 3. Okay, so we draw a number line here. This is my 0, then each centimeter is my 1 unit. We have already done this in the previous chapters. I'm sure you have seen this. If not, please go back and refer to those videos as well. So let's say this is 0. So it's 1, right? So it's as per the rules, you start, the first number is 1 here. So you start at 1. Okay, you start from here now. Plus 3, so we count 3. 1, 2, 3, right? So this is 1. This is second unit. This is third unit. So this is where you reach. So 1 plus 3 is 4, and this is exactly what you get here, right? So let's do with the negative numbers now. Okay, so the same example we'll take, but with the negative numbers, okay? So here it is. This is my 0, this is my -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, okay? And it goes here, so 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Let's say it's -1 and -3 this time, right? So you go to -1 first. This is where you will start. Then it says -3. So you go to left 3 numbers. This is 1 unit, second, and third. So this is where you reach, right? So -4. And if you do this also, this first add numbers and negative signs. This is exactly how you do it on a number scale. Okay, so it's simple, not difficult at all. And the same thing comes here. Okay, so let's say again I'm going to take a smaller number. So say -3 plus 3. Okay, so we start here. Let's mark the units here. Okay, so let's say this is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. So minus 3, right? So we start at minus 3. This is our starting point. And then it says plus 3. So plus means we'll go to the right. So this is 1 unit, this is second unit, and this is third unit. And here we are at 0. So that's how you do it on a number line. Isn't that simple? It is, right? Okay. So now we go to the next part, which is about subtracting. Now it's adding, right? It was just a trick. So we'll add integers with different signs, okay? So what does it say? Let's understand the rule first. Subtract smaller number from the larger number, okay? And then you put the sign of the larger number. Simple, isn't that? So let's take an example, okay? So, for instance, 4 minus 9. Now, do you see there are different signs, right? This is positive and this is negative. So what does the rule say? Subtract smaller from the larger. So which is our larger? This is our larger and this is smaller, right? So 9 minus 4 gives us 5. And then it says put the sign of the larger number. So the larger number is 9 and its sign is minus. So this is how it works. Let's take one more example. Minus 8 plus 3. Okay, so what will you do? Again, the same thing. Minus 8 plus 3. So smaller from the larger. This is larger, this is smaller. 8 minus 3 is 5. And the sign of the larger number is minus. So we put minus here. Okay, so this is how these sums are done. One of the method is counters, but I'm not doing that method here because that's very simple and easy and I'm sure you can manage it yourself. Let's try and do this on a number line. Okay, for my convenience again, because of the space, let me take a smaller number. Or let's try this number, no worries. I guess I will manage here. Okay, we go here. Then we start 1 unit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I could do a lot. Okay, so let's start numbering because here it's minus 8. Let's start minus 8, minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll begin at minus 8. So this is here we begin. Okay, and then it says plus 3. So we will be going to right. Okay, this is 1 unit, this is 2 unit, and this is 3 unit. Here you are, minus 5. Okay, isn't it simple? It is, right? Let's do with this one. Okay, so for this will be our 4 here. So this is plus 4. So we will start here, plus 4. Then it says minus 9. So we will go in this direction, left direction, right? So this is unit 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, and this is 9. Again, we are here at minus 5. Okay, so this is how you do it on a number line. Isn't that simple? It is, right? So now, let's understand this and then how to do using absolute values. So it says, for example, the same numbers we take, okay? So 9, that's minus 9 plus 4. So the first step is you put them in the absolute format. And this is how you write, you remember, right? Between these lines. And this plus will become minus here. Okay, so this is equal to 9 minus 4, right? 9, absolute value of minus 9 and absolute value of 4, which is equal to 5. Then it says you have to put the sign here of the larger number, so which is 9, right? Minus 9. So we put minus here. So do you see this answer and this answer is same? So these are some different methods through which you can solve. The only thing you need to remember is subtract smaller from the larger and then put the sign of the larger number and you are sorted over there. Okay, so if that's clear, we proceed further. More than 2 integers. It's the same method. Now it's a combination of all these things that we will have here. Okay, so let's understand this with the help of an example. Say, for instance, it's minus 9 plus 4 plus 2. How do you do this? You can, and let's add one more, minus 6. Let's make it a bit bigger, okay? There are 2 ways to solve this. One is where you get all the same signs together. So here you have like minus 9. This is plus, and this is minus. So we write minus 6, okay? And then plus 4 and plus 2, just to make it easy for us. So we know now this is minus 9 and minus 6. So we have the same sign rule, right? So add the numbers and put the respective sign. So 9 plus 6 is 15 and the sign is minus. Similarly, the same thing, 4 plus 2 is 6 and the sign is plus. Now this is minus 15 and 6, right? So we go to this different sign rule. So you subtract smaller from the larger and put the sign of the larger, right? So the smaller number is 6 and the larger is 15. So we will do 15 minus 6, right? Which is 9. And we put the sign of a larger number, which is minus. So this is one way to solve it, right? The other way is you go one by one. So you say minus 9 plus 4. Let me just write it here again. Then you do this too, okay? So minus 9 plus 4, different signs, right? So larger minus smaller, which is 5, and the sign of the larger. And then I write the rest of it as it is so that I don't miss on any numbers, okay? Then I'll go this two, different sign rule. Larger minus smaller is 3, and the sign of the larger number. And then I get minus 6 here. Now we have the same sign rule, okay? So 3 and 6 we added, which is 9, and the respective sign, which is 9. So you get the same answer ultimately, right? So either of the ways that works for you, whether you would want to combine all negative numbers and all positive and carry out the process, or you want to go step by step, okay? The choice is yours, whatever works for you. Try both the methods and see which works. If both works, you can use any of it. You can use both of it and impress your teacher, right? Okay, let's try and do this same thing on a number line, okay? So I'm going to start here. I hope this is visible, right? So let's start from here. This is minus 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. See, I just need larger. My is here, and I know my no answer here, but okay, that's why it's easier. But this is how I would do. So let's say this is minus 9, this is minus 8, minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1. Okay, so we begin with the first one, right? Minus 9. So we begin here. This is our start point, right? And it says plus 4, plus. So we go right for plus 4, right? So 1 step, 2, 3, and 4. So this is where we are. This is our first, after our first calculation. Then it says plus 2 here, right? So again, for plus 2, we will go right. So this is 1, this is 2. This is where we are, second. And then finally it says minus 6. So for minus 6, we need to go left, right? Okay, so we write here on the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is where we are. This is our final. Coincidentally, our start and final is same, but that depends upon the sum, right? So this is how you do it using a number line too. And finally here we have real world problems, real world situation, which are also known as word problems or the story problems, right? In this situation, basically, you're not given the ready equations. You need to form these equations, okay? They're pretty simple. It's just reading the problem that's given there, the story that's given there, and formulating an equation. It's basic English, and I'm sure you know that, right? So we won't be doing any problem over here, any situation over here. We will do it during the independent practice exercise. But this involves all these things, okay? It's just getting the equation, formulating your own equation. It's like you have, for instance, this sum, okay? To formulate this equation, they would say you have 7 chocolates and you're given 8 chocolates. How many chocolates in all you have? Something like that. Or you had no money, you had borrowed 8 rupees, and now you're returning to 3 rupees. So how much you need to still pay, something like that. Okay, so it is that simple, straightforward, easy to do it. So let's just quickly revise what this chapter is about. Adding integers with the same sign, add the numbers, put the respective sign. Okay, then to their opposites, you know that any numbers opposite, if you do with it, like 7 and minus 7, it's 0, right? So same numbers with a different sign, they are the same numbers, okay, but the signs are different, so it always results in 0, right? Then you have with different signs the same thing here. You need to remember, subtract smaller number from the larger and put the sign of the larger number. All this work that we did, right? And then it says more than 2 integers. So we said you can go either way. Either you put all these negatives together and positives together and solve it, or you go to like take two numbers and go on, whatever you prefer. Okay, sometimes if you practice enough, okay, if you practice enough, you can do these things in your head also. It's not a big deal. So it's like, let's try one. So minus 9 plus 4. This gives me minus 5. I'm doing this in my head, okay? Minus 5 plus 2 gives me minus 3, and minus 6 gives me minus 9. So you can do that as well, okay? And then on the number line, and then you know the real world problem. So this is what this chapter is about. I'm sure this has helped you. You can put your queries, questions, comments in the comment section. And please watch other videos that helps you understand the other subchapters and also helps you deal with independent practice. Thank you very much. Remember, math is fun. Enjoy. Have fun. Bye-bye.